Hey everyone, it's Vivi and welcome back. Wait a minute. Is Vivi really asking about Sly 5 in the title? Yeah, I'm actually sitting right here and asking myself, should we expect Sly Cooper 5 at the Game Awards? Ooh, big words there, Vivi. Kind of feels like a leap of faith sort of thing going on here, Vivi. I'm fully aware of the ups and downs we've gone through when it comes to Sly Cooper over the years. I'm fully aware of that. But I'm simply asking this question because naturally, as Sly Cooper rumors run loose and start to amp up, folks will start to wonder, hey, there's this big event next month with the current rumors surrounding Sly. Is Sly Cooper going to be present in some shape or form at the Game Awards happening on December 9th, especially when it comes to Sly 5 rumors? I think with the current activity surrounding this IP, I think it feels suitable to start asking ourselves this question. So the short answer is, well, unless Sony is confident in their IP, we should really control our expectations for next month. Obviously, Sly isn't like God of War Ragnarok, where Ragnarok was only teased with only its title during PlayStation Showcase back in September 2020. 1 year later, we finally got footage for Ragnarok during PlayStation Showcase. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Wolverine. Sure, it's Marvel we're looking at here, but Sony was confident in revealing these upcoming games early, with Spider-Man 2 planned for 2023 exclusively on the PlayStation 5. Sony trusts these IP to hype them up in advance. Exclusivity certainly is another interesting point to consider when looking at a potential new Sly game. If that ever happens, by then I wouldn't be surprised if Sly Cooper was at least on the PlayStation 5. Now, as for the long answer to this question, taking into account the latest rumors surrounding Sly, which we'll dive into later, the high majority of them don't seem to be putting emphasis on the Game Awards. Sly Cooper 5 is rumored to be early in development. Early development in this case could mean Sony is not ready to reveal Sly Cooper 5 just yet. Sly hasn't had a game since 2013's Thieves in Time. Thieves in Time certainly didn't seem like the entry that convinced Sony that Sly should keep going. Remember that interview with Sanzaru's Matt Kramer? How that Egypt DLC was canned? This interview was held by Kinda Funny Games back on December 16th, 2019. Sanzaru was the one behind Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. They were a third-party team now owned by Oculus. We got the Sly movie teaser in 2014. Nothing happened. The Sly TV show, well, nothing seems to be happening. So there you have it. With all this hiatus and mystery surrounding Sly Cooper, one just can't help but wonder, is Sony truly ready to reveal Sly in its early phase? Early in this case could simply be a title popping up on screen, if anything. Sony was at least confident enough by throwing in this Easter egg among all other active IPs in their showcase. For Sly Cooper being inactive since pretty much the Sly movie teaser 2014, this was quite the surprise. With that said, let's go over what's actually planned for this year's upcoming Game Awards. Founder and co-host of the Game Awards, Geoff Keighley, spoke with former Kotaku and Polygon co-founder Brian Crescente, sharing some of the key features for the Game Awards 2021. Again, reminder, happening on December 9th. According to Keighley, the show will somewhat or somehow feature 40 to 50 games. Be careful here. IGN made this mistake at first. Keighley didn't say 40 to 50 games being announced. He said featured. Featured in this case could be anything from updates or extended looks on stuff we're already aware of. In terms of actual new game announcements, Keighley explained that a slew of game announcements is planned. Probably something in the double digits in terms of number. Who knows what this exact number might be, but there we have it. With the situation these past 2 years, Keighley feels that this upcoming Game Awards feels beneficial. Beneficial in a sense where the Game Awards team is being pitched a bunch of games. He added, "We're blessed that pretty much every developer and publisher wants to have some degree of content on the show. The Game Awards will also focus on next-gen stuff, involving both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, believing that we'll see footage of games that will remind people that the best of this industry is still to come." For some little extra detail, he believes that the show will be split half and half, between world premieres, announcements, and awards. What's interesting to point out, this year's Game Awards will feature what he calls adjacent video game trailers. Adjacent in this case implies TV shows and movies. He feels that next year could also have focus on giving out awards for best adaptation. When thinking of movies and TV shows, ones that are especially under PlayStation Productions, we got the upcoming live-action adaptation of Uncharted. Let's not forget The Last of Us TV show planned for HBO, which is currently in its filming stage. Now on November 7th, Neil Druckmann tweeted this, sharing production update on the show. He was on set as director in Canada, and how he was soon headed back to, Naughty Dog. As for Twisted Metal, the latest update happened back in September. Anthony Mackie to star as John Doe. And yeah, like I mentioned before, there was once a Sly Cooper TV show planned. What makes Sly Cooper stand out differently among all these guys? It is unsure if Sly ever moved to PlayStation Productions. All Sony TV shows and movies based on games run under PlayStation Productions. As for Sly, well, it started off with a never-released movie by Rainmaker, the same studio behind the Ratchet & Clank movie from 2016. Well, you know what happened. The Sly movie never saw the light of day due to obvious reasons. Ratchet & Clank 2016 at the box office. Then there was the not-so-official announcement of the Sly Cooper TV show. Articles actually came up to announce it. How Sly was under Technicolor, a different animation studio. Same fate. It all went quiet afterwards. So now we wonder, is the Sly Cooper TV show still a thing, or has it been silently cancelled? Only time will answer this question. Now that TV shows and movies are confirmed for the Game Awards, well, some might wonder, what if? It'd be the biggest surprise if the Sly TV show is announced officially at the Game Awards, but let's not get our hopes up. No one's really known about the status of the show since its announcement back in 2017. Alrighty, let's move on to the latest rumors surrounding Sly Cooper. This is probably something you're all probably used to by now, Sly and rumors. Anywho, looking back at October, going back to the 6th of October, Special Nick again, he shared this. His original source stating that not only Sly is 100% confirmed, but Infamous as well. Now what's the thing with his OG source? Well, going back in time, Nick had mentioned how he wanted to double check with his source. This was a response to the whole 4chan thing about Sly, as boring as that may sound, because 4chan? That's how this whole Sly Cooper 5 in development even began. And with time, rumor galore began. On October 4th, he reiterated his original statement saying that he spoke with his OG source this time, and that before, he was told by a newer source. I hope that makes it clear for you guys the thing between his original source and newer source. On October 15th, Nick explains that Sly Cooper is early in development, at least that's what he's told, and that Sony tends to hype things up pretty far out. He guesses that Sly could get revealed early next year, perhaps during the first State of Play. Thing is, on September 5th, about Infamous coming back, well, he felt it'd be too early to show it at the showcase, and Infamous didn't show. Lucky guess, in this case? As for more updates on Sly, he'll share more when he's allowed. This was back on October 20th. By the way, thanks to Ruffer on Twitter for linking back to these tweets. On October 30th, Sumopoon India. Well, technically this was brought to our attention on October 30th on Twitter. Yeah, as I was saying, this division of Sumo Digital in the UK, known for Sackboy, they're looking for a level designer for an unannounced AAA game which is already established and is a multi-million selling franchise. I remember a tweet by Roberto Serrano stating that Sly is getting developed by a team in the UK. Look, already by googling Roberto Serrano, folks don't think he's reliable, and 2, Sumopoon is in India. That's not the studio in the UK. And honestly, does Sly Cooper fall within the AAA category and multi-million? Unless they're combining all sales numbers for all games put together. It's a head scratcher, ain't it? Just that alone makes you skeptical. Anywho, let's continue. On November 3rd, Nick replied to this tweet stating that points 1 and 2 he had already mentioned, but he isn't sure about point 3. Now, just like you guys, I've never heard of this user, or maybe you've heard of him somewhere, but this user doesn't ring any bells to me. So anything here should be taken with a grain. So Nick pretty much seems to agree with summer 2021 being the start of development on Sly, and that a likely tease could happen at minimum 2022. He did say he mentioned points 1 and 2, let's not forget, but the state of play which happened lately focused on third-party games. He did state that don't expect Sly at the state of play because of third-party games being shown. As for point 3, if we focus a bit more on it, it's supposedly Sly 5 on next gen. Next gen, like I said before, I really wouldn't be surprised. Oh, by the way, on October 26th, the same user wrote that there's talk about the reboot of the franchise, which equals to more games. Now, looking within the realm of reboots and remakes, some might think back to this rumor from October, how there's a big PlayStation remake in the works, likely to get revealed around Christmas. This rumor began with a certain singer stating that she was part of a recording session for an unannounced PlayStation project, revolving around an Irish style of music. That right there. Does Irish style music really fit the theme of Sly Cooper? Just these questions in mind, you can already filter out your thoughts. In terms of announcement or studio behind it, going back to the Sly rumors, it's not Sucker Punch, like originally told by Nick by his source. And to not expect it at the Game Awards. Then on November 4th, speaking of random users, this one seems to confirm point 3, how it's next gen and called Sly 5, a sequel to Thieves in Time. And, apparently, the game has been in development not just since summer 2021, but prior. Announcement-wise, this user thinks it should happen in early 2022. As for the studio working on it, we still don't know. Special Nick is at least trying to figure that out. Then there's Roberto Serrano again, replying to this article on Twitter, stating that Sly is in development since the second half of 2020, but like I said before, people don't find him reliable. Another random tweet. Apparently having heard Sly being at the Game Awards, the user spelled out TGS, but that was a typo. So the golden rule here, rumor does not equal confirmation. I think with Sly Cooper over the years, with speculations and everything, I think we all got used to the golden rule at this point. So putting all these rumors together, we shouldn't be expecting Sly at the Game Awards, but sometime in 2022. These are just rumors at the end of the day. This is no confirmation. If the rumor of Sly Cooper coming back is true, again, going back to the short answer, unless Sony is confident in their IP, we should really control our expectations for next month. So with that being said, folks, this is it for the video. So as usual, if you have your questions, thoughts, or anything of such sort, feel free to share it in the comment section below. And as always, I've been Vivi, and thank you for always sticking around. Until next time.